So very exciting thing is happening, isn't it? Very depressing videos coming from Pewdiepie kind of shows you that something is going on. Something is dying. It has too much power. And to have the most successful YouTuber, the representation of what YouTube is all about, you have a platform, someone just gets it right and gets to represent that platform, whether it was early enough or just made just the perfect type of content. Pewdiepie got the throne, and now he's representing the platform. He became the most successful, the lucky person. He was successful because he knows what he's doing? Certainly not. And the same goes for the platform of YouTube itself. Does YouTube know what it's doing? Certainly not. Certainly we have had plenty of rage videos expressing how broken it is. So, let me address probably the most important points and then go back to work, to actual programming. Too much power. We see that at the moment, and PewDiePie admits that here he's running out of ideas. That's very important, because that is a recognition that you're running out of resources, and you're supposed to keep up. You're supposed to keep your title, and you have a lot of responsibility behind that. So you have to keep uploading, keep pushing the fact that you are worthy of the title of the best YouTuber, right? How are you going to do that? What kind of ideas are you going to put forward? What kind of work are you going to put forward? And he became more honest because he can't keep up. It's just too hard. And it's going to go worse and worse until we're going to see the fall. Who knows how it's going to work out? Who knows how it's going to crash? But it's happening. Unless there is a way out. There's always a way out. He needs a partner. He needs to get his burden off his shoulders and say, can you figure out some ideas? Right? Some easy things that I could do that I would enjoy as well. Where is going to get a partner like this? Well, it requires motivation. Finding a person like that, you need to know a common goal. What happens usually is we get friends because we need to survive. So they're temporary. We need to get some kind of information. We need to, figure things out and survive. Otherwise, we don't get any further than that. We need a partner for, creating a family. But it turns out it's just a friend, and we cannot actually relate properly. And we cannot have a relationship. And that happens way too often, to the point where I say that never existed. A relationship never existed. Partnership has never existed. It was always disconnected. So the motivation should be to connect, to communicate. That's the meaning of life, basically. And I will tell you why. But first, we have to recognize that it is happening for some reason. for some reason there's motivation disconnect. We don't find it. We don't find this need to communicate. So here's another example of false motivation. Money is very much related to survival. So if you motivate people by offering them money, you offer me money, and I would try to appeal to you, right? Because I need it. If I have money, I don't have to worry about things. That's the greatest freedom ever. That's anyone's dream. So if you offer that, my creativity goes out of the window. I'm trying to appeal to you. I'm trying to figure out how do I get value to you, because you're saying I'm giving you value, so I'm probably expecting you to give value to me too. Like, I would ruin your expectations, and I probably wouldn't get rewarded for that. That's a huge risk that I shouldn't waste time on. But personally, I don't cheat, or try not to cheat, unless it's like, well, I created a secure position for myself where I'm kind of like, I can survive, so what's the point? The rest is investment. The rest is for not trying to cheat in life and just doing the best that I think that I'm doing and not following orders. But normally people would be motivated falsely, and it's called social pressure. When you're saying, here's the positive motivation or negative motivation, but there's no reason behind it. I can say, you're doing a great job, or you're doing a bad job. Whatever you're doing, you're just going to reinforce that or completely stop it. But you just fall into this thinking that this statement is correct, that what I said is correct for some reason. Obviously, if an underdog like me gets noticed, I kind of understand the reason that it's very hard to get noticed, but it's manipulative, because without reason, what's the point, right? What are you trying to tell me? Why do you say I'm doing a good job, or I should get something more, or deserve something more? Like, what is that? It's positive motivation, but why? Why should I deserve something? Why should I think that I'm actually doing, a good job? It's very important. What am I doing right is very important. What should I actually reinforce? What is the most specific thing that I'm doing right? And without reason, it's very difficult to push forward, to actually grow. You think like, oh, everything I'm doing is great. Great, right? Absolutely great. Proper criticism is what is actually important. So even good reinforcement is bad, is counterproductive if it's wrong, right? There's a huge importance of what is right and wrong. You simply have to know things and communicate as best as you can. That's simple as that. You find a reason and you tell about it. So that's the true motivation, where it comes from trying to communicate, trying to be honest. And here's the thing, as I said, to find a partner, it's very important, of course. You can share the burden because you have the same goal. So we're going for the same goal. We can share jobs. We can figure out who is best suited to do what exactly, and then we can go much faster. It's very difficult to go alone. One lifetime is definitely not enough. especially for the ideas that I have. It's just insane. But I will try to do my best, and hopefully I will know enough to put legacy to somebody else. All you have to do is be able to communicate whatever you're doing, whatever your motivation is, whatever you're reaching after. And if you can actually explain how your tools work, every single detail, and then you can actually give them to somebody else to push forward. But that's the thing. Why communication is the most important thing, why it's the meaning of life that will unite everyone eventually, because everyone is disconnected for kind of the same reason or the opposite reason. They got the experience, they're getting a random experience, randomly generated. You can be born in any kind of family, in any kind of situation, and you get a story. You get your own unique perspective that you will eventually want to share because it's different. It's something that everyone wants. It's new. It's different. Nobody has experienced the thing that you have. And how are you going to share it is the biggest burden for everyone. You have something, now you want to share it. How are you going to do that? It's very difficult. And so the communication is the meaning of life, because everyone lives in a certain direction. How do we put it back together? How do we collect experience and tell our stories? Adventure Crime was pretty good. It inspired me to find this meaning of life in the first place. Sharing it means a lot to me, and hopefully you can actually figure out yourself that it's the goal that never changes. And if that is the case, because that has to be the case in order to have a partner, if a goal suddenly changes, then you separate. But if there's a never-changing goal, like communication, trying to put things together, trying to tell the story, trying to be honest and not be ashamed of yourself, no matter what happened, it's your story, and it's very important for you to tell that. I think that's very cool. That's why we consume things in the first place. People are trying to say stuff to us, but at the same time, the best we can do right now is just to figure out the meaning. Until we start creating partners, we're just gonna try to figure out, or just try to feel good, or just gonna die because we have too much power, too much responsibility, and the best we can do is create a family or something, or show people how we are dying. It's just some ridiculous stuff happens, just like what is gonna happen with Pewdiepie. He's not gonna act towards that one goal. Alright. Hopefully that will motivate me as well to work harder. Again, certainly I don't want comments to be just positive or negative. I don't care. I care about the reason. I care about you have heard me and you're like, yes, indeed. And maybe you're trying to tell a story yourself, and I'm like, holy shit. You finally understand the struggle, what it takes to try and express. And now we can work together. That's the whole fucking point. See you guys whenever else I'll have something to show you or tell. See ya then.